Welcome back to r/LegalAdvice, featuring stories from r/JustKnow HOA. Today we will also read an update to the beloved HOA Karen dumpster story, so please stay tuned for that. And in addition, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join our awesome community. Without any further ado, let's dive into the stories. And the first one is titled Gotta Love HOAs. Backstory: my great-grandfather purchased about 3,000 acres of land in Florida in the late 1800s. This land has been in family ever since, and there has been a family home on property throughout. The land is zoned as agricultural, and we have raised livestock and farmed various items over the years. Ownership of the land has been passed down over the years, with the oldest getting the house. My father passed in 2000 and left the house to me. My mom still lives in the house, and the land was split between 3 siblings equally, about 1,000 acres each. My brother lives in California and sister lives in Texas, quickly sold their lots to a property development company, and about the same time I had purchased a neighboring lot, 850 acres, as my own. The development company quickly purchased a lot of land and began building family units, 3 and 4 and 5 bedroom homes. This company repeatedly made attempts to get me to sell the 1,850 acres I owned. They fought the county to get land rezoned so that I could not use it as a farm. That failed since I was actively using it, and land became zoned as agricultural/residential. In 2015, the development company completed the project and transferred control of community to an HOA, which was registered in 2016. Now, the meat and potatoes. As soon as the HOA became officially recognized by the county, the board pushed to force me and my family to join. Nope, that is not happening. We have received visits from HOA board members explaining how we are in violation of the rules and how we must pay fines they have exposed. Fines have included livestock/farm animals not allowed, farm equipment left visible, unauthorized structures on site. We have 2 barns, 3 storage sheds, a detached 3-car garage, and 4 covered feed stations for animals, cars/vehicles not parked in garage. Driveway not properly maintained, unapproved fencing, house painted wrong color, house trim color not approved, front door style and color not approved, trees are unapproved, lawn unsightly, mailbox not correct style, mailbox not within community height standards. The fines started at $50 up to $1,500 and incurred massive late fees. And the biggest was failure to sign the HOA membership form. Now, I am an attorney, however I'm not versed in property law, so I hired someone who is. And she has been having fun. Cease and desist orders at least once a year, several trespass orders against board members and the HOA itself, at least 3 court cases to get fines and property liens removed. As you can imagine, this has been trying. In January 2019, I filed plans and was approved to build a 6-feet concrete and stucco wall running the length of my property. This wall will be 5 feet onto my side of the property line and will be maintained by me. The plans were on file and the HOA had time to contest them. In October 2019, the work began. The side of the wall was leveled. This brought about the HOA to file numerous complaints for noise and unapproved improvements. Several times the HOA made attempts to have equipment towed or removed even though it was parked on my property. In February of 2020, the wall was completed, which included lighting and security cameras and a large decorative iron gate at my main driveway. I also had a new driveway installed. Figured a nice, clean, well-maintained wall would make the HOA happy, but nope. I did not mow the 5 feet of grass along the gate as well as the HOA would like. I also did not bag the grass clippings. The wall was the wrong color. My wife chose sand as it was a neutral color, and the wall was too high. HOA laws are 4 feet max. Since the issue with the virus, this HOA has way too much time. They started by repainting my wall and sending me the bill. They started removing/disabling my lights and security cameras and sending me the bill. And they have a company that dug up and resodded the 5 feet strip of grass to the HOA requirements and sent me the bill, which includes a year of maintenance. My attorney nearly laughed herself into a coma. The outcome? It did not take long. The HOA, its board of directors and the companies they hired were all ordered to appear in court. After hearing all sides and seeing all documentation, the judge ruled. The company that painted the wall has 30 days to repaint it the color it was. The company that disabled/removed lights and security cameras has 30 days to return them to working order. The grass is allowed to remain. The HOA was ordered to absorb all costs. This includes the work they ordered and all work needed to return my property to the way I had it. Furthermore, the judge ordered that the HOA from now until eternity is to have no contact with me or my family, and now I am going to request a permit to build a rifle range on my property. And guys, that is a beautiful story of an HOA getting exactly what they deserve. In addition, if you like the HOA stories, please don't forget to post some star emojis in the comments and also like the video if you want to support my channel. Thank you so much in advance. And the next story is gonna be from LegalAdvice and it is titled "Sold Some Ammunition, Got in Trouble." Looking to see if anyone here has advice for me, California input is greatly appreciated. A couple of weeks ago I sold a gun that I never used and had no intentions of using. It was for all intents and purposes a safe queen. I bought it when I was young. It was not my favorite gun. It did not have a heavy aftermarket presence. However, it is a highly accurate gun with a good history of reliability, and it commanded a decent price given the virus situation, which is about what I paid for a couple of decades ago. Got a message from a kid, 21, who was interested. Had all his paperwork in order, real ID, proof of residency and all that good jazz. We met at a local range where he shot off maybe a dozen rounds and was happy with it. We shot a bit in the parking lot and he explained his dad was anti-gun, anti-this and anti-that. I brushed it off, whatever, I just wanna sell the gun and go. We decided to both head over to an FFL to do the transaction. I get the money and figured I would never see him again. On the 11th day he messages me saying he got the gun. I gave him some advice and figured he's excited about his new gun and I will be fake excited for him too. He said he spent all day trying to find ammo and couldn't, so I said, "You can have my box," which had maybe another 20 to 30 rounds in it. I also gave him a small box of hollow points. He was happy. I did not personally care about giving away 45 to 50 rounds to this kid. It's no loss to me. Obviously, the kid is happy he got the gun, etc. Well, I recently got a letter from the ATF about selling ammo without going through an FFL or having the buyer undergo a BG check. Granted, this is the day after he picked up his firearm. I text the kid to see who he told, and guess who he told? His ATF dad. Am I effed or is there a way to shake a stick at this situation? The gist of the letter says that there is evidence that I did the transaction, I mean there are texts, and that the investigation is ongoing and that I will need to be in contact soon. Anyone know what I will need to do to unscrew this situation? I was just trying to be a kind person. The kid obviously passed the BG check. Is that a good enough defense? Note, the kid never had my address, so I assume his dad took the liberty to use his employment title to go to the FFL and get my info. And a user in the comments said, "As ridiculous as it is, this is a federal criminal investigation on a politically sensitive issue. Take this very seriously, don't answer any questions from the ATF or any other law enforcement, don't contact or speak with the buyer again, and get in touch with a lawyer immediately. Once again, don't engage in any interview or communication with law enforcement. Contacting one of the firearms rights legal organizations like the Firearms Policy Coalition might be a good start and get you referred to a lawyer." And another user said, "It's an odd investigation as the ammo background check law is a CA state law, not federal law, so it should not be something a federal agency would investigate." And the next one is an update to the ammunition story. Yesterday I was paid a visit. Long story short, my lawyer said there is not much we can do because the DOJ is not fighting the background check part, they are fighting the whole selling ammunition and not having a vendor license. In California you are only allowed to sell 500 rounds per month, even if selling an extra 100 means you can feed your family for the month, but that is neither here or there. The issue they have is they don't know how many I have sold because there's no record of me selling any. For all they know, I could have sold 5,000 rounds this way. They decided to come to my house on a Sunday evening when they figured I would be home. Joke's on them, I am unemployed due to the virus, I am always home, and serve a warrant. They took all my ammunition and my firearms. Basically, after the 5 officers were done taking the 72 rounds of ammo I had, some suit walked in and said I could forfeit these and not purchase or sell any firearms or ammunition for 5 years and pay up to $1,000 fine, or I could take them to court. But at the discretion of my lawyer, it will actually be easier for me to just give them up, not have to play anything, and get new firearms in 5 years, which I probably won't anyways. The bonus? The kid also gave up his firearm. It was actually his mom who was an agent, the dad was just anti-gun. Anyways, legally the matter is considered closed. If I was employed I would probably fight them in a court just on principle alone, but alas, as I need that money to keep my ailing mother and my kids fed. And I gotta say guys, I'm not a big gun guy or anything, but I feel really bad for OP in this situation. Whether it is guns or anything else, he had to give up his property essentially for just being nice to someone. Please let me know your thoughts about this story in the comments. And guys, the next one is the final update to the HOA dumpster story. And essentially, if you don't remember what this story was about, this story was about a so-called HOA Karen who tried to start an HOA and then demanded that OP would give her the keys to his dumpster, because obviously if you're part of the HOA, you need to let other people use your dumpster. However, the real gist of it was that the HOA Karen just wanted to use OP's dumpster for free because she did not want to pay for it. At the end of the last update, her landlord, because she's not a homeowner, essentially told her to stop the HOA BS, and we thought that was it. However, thankfully there is a final update available now. Special thanks to user DanRanFast for posting this also on r/RIPESTORIES. Okay, I know it's been some time and I figured it was over with her, at least my part, but no, not with her. For my previous posts, look under my profile. Today, between rainstorms, I was taking out the trash and my neighbor was out doing something and we got to talking and he asked me for a favor. He asked me how much the dumpster ran me, I told him, and he asked for a favor. He said that his son had forgotten to take his trash down to the road, something about an Xbox or PlayStation, and could he dump it in my dumpster and that he would pay me for a one-time use. I said okay, but that he didn't have to pay me, but he said his son was paying. He called his son and told him to bring the trash up there and bring $30 to pay me for him missing trash day, a lesson in reasonability tax. So, while we were waiting, he had some news about HOA Karen. She had annoyed the landlord big time, demanding that he either get me to let her use my dumpster or get one for her at his expense. I said, I will bet that didn't go over well with the landlord. And my neighbor said, you are right, but there's more. She had been going around trying to get some of the teenagers to take her trash to the main street, and when she was told, sure, for $20 up front, she would say she didn't have the money right now and would pay later. That did not work. I think all of them read Reddit, money up front or you do it yourself. Again, she tried to get the landlord to try and force me to let her use my dumpster or get her one, and tried to tell him that all the kids were being mean to her. When she offered to pay them, they gave her a hard time and called her rude names. What she didn't know was that he used to live here and knew all of them since they were little and was good friends with their parents. So that didn't work. Now, because she did not like hauling her trash down to the main street, and since she could not get anyone to take pity on her, it started to build up. He said she must have moved it to behind the house. Didn't I say we live in the woods and we have a lot of wildlife out here, so keeping your trash under control is a must? She didn't. You all know where this is going. Yep, the critters had a party in her backyard, hope they were wearing masks and staying 6 feet apart. He said there was trash everywhere. From what my neighbor said, it looked like at least 2 months worth. He said it was bad. I said she must have been keeping it in the garage till it wouldn't fit anymore, or the smell started getting into the house and just moved it out back for the party with the mask wearing critters. My neighbor said he called the landlord and told him about what she had done and the mess she had made, and this is where HOA Karen becomes no more of our problem. The landlord gave her till the end of the month to 1. Clean up the mess and get rid of all the trash, number 2. Find a new place to live because he was kicking her out. She was on a month-to-month with no lease. This happened at the beginning of the month of November and she was gone at the end of November. So HOA Karen is gone for good. She was military and the month-to-month was so that if the military offered her military housing, she could move without breaking a lease. I'll bet she cried to the housing office on base and got a place. They will do that in special cases, and she sure was a special case. Well, I guess just a different one than usual. I hope she enjoys living in military housing because they won't put up with her kind of crap. If indeed that is where she moved to. Don't know and don't care, just a side note, she did have 2 very young kids I found out, so no help taking the trash to the main street for pickup. I hope you all enjoyed this little saga and at least she's no longer a pain to everyone around here. Again, thank you all and please stay safe. And once again, thank you Dan Ranfast for posting this on r/RIPESTORIES and letting me read it. However, I have to say, on the one hand, I'm pretty happy for you that HOA Karen is finally gone and won't pester you anymore about the dumpster, but on the other hand, I feel kind of bad for the 2 young kids. So I hope they found new housing. And the next one is titled, I will let you know every time I use my garbage can. I have never met anyone that said, oh good, an HOA. We all have trash cans, but the sight of them offends the delicate eyes of some, so I complied with the new rule of no seeing bins from the street. I found a notice of my bins being out, which is surprising because I'm the only one who touches the cans and I know I am 100% compliant. I call in and ask why I got the notice. The full description says, bins in the driveway with lids off. I asked if this happened to be a Tuesday and sure enough it was. Wednesday is pickup and I was doing my weekly cleaning. I was effing using them, I calmly explained through gritted teeth. Oh, okay, I will remove the notice. Great, but how do I prevent this from happening again? I guess notify us. Alright, I said, I will notify you every time I'm using my trash cans. Oh, that won't be necessary. Clearly it is. That was 5 Tuesdays ago. Today I once again called promptly at 10 o'clock and let Ellen know I was about to use my trash cans. You know what, Mr. Enderman, I'm just going to put a hold on any trash can notices for you. Hey, that would be swell, Ellen. That would be swell. And I suppose, guys, that is one of the best ways to defeat an HOA by using malicious compliance. And the last one is titled, have you ever been to a real tractor pull? And it was posted by user Dragon Rider on our own subreddit, so consider it a little bonus as it does not have much to do with legal advice or HOAs. This is from my childhood, so things are from memory, in Florida and on mobile. My parents owned 3,000 acres of farmland in Florida. This has been in my family since the 1800s. One of the farmhands left a tractor in a field during a storm and it became stuck in the mud. Asking another for help, farmhand 2 comes out with a bigger 4x4 tractor and hooks up a chain and pulls. Now both tractors are stuck in that quagmire. Both hands went to barn to get shovels to dig the tractors out. A third hand gave them a ride back in his pickup. This third hand evaluated the situation, hooked up his truck to the 4x4 tractor, which was still hooked to the smaller tractor. They did dig some muck out from around the tires before making another attempt. All 3 are now firmly stuck. That pickup was, if memory is right, all the way to the bottom of the doors. Hanging heads in shame, all 3 had to see my dad and ask for help and suggestions. Dad went out and looked things over and told everyone to dig the wheels out and wait for his return. It took about 2 hours, but Dad showed up with his monster tractor, 4x4x4, huge wheels on each axle, 2 on each side, and I could have walked under it without hitting my head. Dad hooks a chain to the pickup, which is hooked to the 4x4 tractor, which is hooked to the smaller tractor. Before pulling, Dad unspools a cable from the front winch and takes it toward a huge oak tree on the property. The cable is not long enough, so 2 lengths of chain are added to make it reach. Next thing I know is that everything is out and on the way to the barn, so the hands can wash off all the mud. Now that, my fellow Redditors, is a real tractor and truck pull. And guys, unfortunately we have already reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories, and if you haven't already, please also go to patreon.com/ripeyoutube, where I upload exclusive Reddit videos starting at just $3 a month. This is a great way to support me in case you are interested, and the chance for me to become independent from YouTube revenue. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.